Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of a neat new quadcopter. This is the Xinlin X163F. Now the 163F, as you might surmise by this video screen we got here, is an FPV flyer. In particular, it is a 5.8 gigahertz FPV flyer. Don't be fooled by 2.4 gigahertz. I think they might have been planning to originally use 2.4 gigahertz, or maybe they're referring to the 2.4 gigahertz of the controller, but it is a 5.8 gigahertz FPV transmitter. The camera is 2 megapixel HD, as it says here, which is transmitted over 5.8 gigahertz signal. Now, there's something that you need to know about this camera, and I had a hard time figuring it out, but you see an SD card slot in the back. There is no SD card receiver in there. If you put a card in there, you will lose it inside this case. In other words, when you get this, you might want to tape over this. This card slot is inoperative. The way this records video, and I'll put the quadcopter down here for a second, is it records it directly from the video screen. You can set the video screen to resolution of 640 by 480 or 720p, which is 1280 by 720 pixel resolution. And you do that through the menus of this particular screen. This screen has a menu system in it, and the way you access it is through the set button here. You can change the resolution of both the video between 640 by 480 to 720p, and you can also change the resolution of the photographs between 640 480 to 2 megapixel, and it also has a 3 megapixel selection. So that's what the menu is primarily for. You can also set NTSC or PAL video formats. I don't know why you would do that these days, and also select between 50 and 60 hertz. Again, I don't know why you would do that these days, because not many people use old-fashioned monitors to view these videos. Okay, back to the quadcopter itself. As you see here, there are other versions of that Xinlin is putting out, but this particular version here uses brushed geared motors. Okay, so that's for the Xinlin X163F. Its battery is stored in the back of this particular quadcopter through this door. It's a 7.4 volt 380 milliamp hour battery. What they did was took two 3.7 volt 380s and put them in series in the back here. So that's how you get a 7.4 volt battery out of this, and that powers this particular quadcopter and its transmitter camera. It does have an on-off switch on the top of it, so I like that. You can have this all ready to go, and when you're ready to fly, just turn on the on-off switch. Going back to the transmitter again, let's go over the buttons for this. You have one key return with this quadcopter, which you activate by pressing this button here. You have headless mode, which you activate by pressing this button here. You start flips by pressing this upper button here and then telling it which direction to flip. You can select between the different rates, beginner, intermediate, expert, by pressing this button here. This button here activates lights. You can turn them on or off. This button here is inoperative. There's no selection for this. To turn on the video screen, you have to hold down this power button for about 6-7 seconds. It takes a long time to turn on the screen, so don't be discouraged, folks, but that's how you do it. Hold that button down for about 6 seconds. You can go through the different menu selections by selecting this set button and then selecting up or down, using the up or down to select the different selections, and then hitting OK to finally choose them. Again, the main selections you can use with this screen is changing video and photo resolution and selecting between NTSC, PAL format, 60 and 50 hertz frequency. Those are the main selections. You can also, if you want, change the time on this, put the date and time into it, and have those displayed on the screen also. Unfortunately, there is no selection that I could find in the menus for increasing video brightness of this screen. And this screen, as with most screens, are hard to see out in daylight, so I am going to be using my screen sunshade to go over top of this, and to also enable you to see the recorded video. I'm going to use my little camera inside the sunshade to view such. So that's the transmitter in a nutshell. The range on this is predicted to be about 100 meters. First off, what I'd like to do is verify that it does have that there won't be any flyaway issues with this quadcopter. So I'm going to do a quick bind to the quadcopter, and what I'm going to do is give it a little throttle. We're going to turn off the motors and see how long it takes to shut itself down. So here we go. Hold on, get a little power, and turning off the transmitter now. 1001, 1002, 1003 seconds it'll drop. So that's not going to be an issue flyaways. So let's go for a flight of the Xinlin 163F and see how it performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, let's turn on the quadcopter. Then turn on the transmitter, binding it to the quadcopter. You got to do 2 up and downs. Okay, I want to land that again. I wasn't ready for takeoff. Let's put it back here. Now, turning on the video screen by holding this button down. 3, 4, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. And we have video. Now, it also has volume. It has a speaker system right there. That volume is annoying. Turning off the video. And let me show you real quick the menu. We're going to select the menus. So let's try that. Pressing that button down here. No, I think it's the OK button. I'm sorry. Oh no, it's a quick press of the power button to get in the menus. Is that it? Yeah. And there's the menu. You do a quick press of the power button. You can change again 720p, 640p, and other selections by using the up or down button. And actually we don't want any of those, so I'm going to hit exit. And also you can again change date, time, language. Let's exit, TV out, and again that's NTSC, PAL. Sound frequency or volume and power frequency is 60 hertz, but that's all you can select between these. So let's exit this. Again, you can change the date. It doesn't remember it, unfortunately. And how do you exit this? Power. Okay, we are set and good to go. First off, I just want to demonstrate this thing flying before I lose power on this. Let's see if I can trim it up a bit. It is very stable, folks. And this is beginner's rate. Okay, let's bring it in. We're going to do some FPV flying now. Wait a minute, before we do that, let's demonstrate the headless mode. Going into headless mode. Pulling back on the stick. Let's go out a bit and try the 1 key return. Going over here, 1 key return activated. It's flying back to me. One more time. I think that's the headless mode bearing, by the way, folks. So going out one more time. 1 key return activated. Give it a little more throttle. Keep it in the air. And that's the 1 key return. So the 1 key return works and the headless mode works. So let's go for a flight with this thing. Coming out of headless mode, actually. I'm going to land this and we're going to do FPV flying with the 163F. I'm going to put the camera on top of my wife's head. Hold on, folks. Okay, folks, we're ready to do FPV. I am recording, and we're going to start off in beginner's rate. Hope you enjoy this flight. Turning off the sound too, and switching to FPV. Let's take it around here. See what kind of range we get. Can I make it to the other end of the field? It looks like I'm getting near close. A little bit of a... Okay, well, I am about 50 meters away there. I'm over by the stands. My wife doesn't have confidence in me flying this thing FPV. Neither do I. I better bring it closer. It's out of there about 50, 60 meters, or about 60 meters. Can I bring it between the poles? Let's try it. Make it into the other field. Can I get it in the soccer net? Probably. Let's bring it past us again. Whoa. And you know, FPV flying's not as easy as it looks, folks. Or as a lot of people think. It's actually quite difficult. It requires quite a bit of practice. Bringing it by us again. And guess what? I haven't hit record. Okay, let's show what the camera can do in terms of recording. Okay, hitting the record button. First, you got to be in video first, and then hitting the record button. You got to hold down the record button. Okay, I am recording. So now I'm going to show what the video camera looks like. Hope you enjoy this flight. So this is the video camera. The turn of the area. Slow turn of the area with the video camera. By the way, the range in this thing is at about 100 meters right now, so it has very good range. Coming down. Coming back down. They're not kidding about the range, folks. I'm going to demonstrate that. Let me go down to the end of the field here. And I'm going to send this to the opposite end of the field, which is 100 meters away. Down past the cones, if I can make it that far. Slowing down a bit. I'm at the cones. Going past the cones. So there you go. 100 meters, folks. And coming back in. Coming back. Oh! Went out of range right there. Okay. Going down to the end of the field. Let me take that hat back from my wife. Okay, I'm turning off the recorder right now, but we exceeded 100 meters there. Then I had a drop out here. Right at about 90, 99 meters. 98 meters. But I did go out past those cones. So this does have the advertised range of 100 meters is accurate. And I was still getting good FPV too. I think you've seen that, folks, on the screen here. That I'm recording the screen. So with the remaining power that I got here, if there is any remaining power, let's try to turn it off and on again. Let's look at its flight maneuverability. So, turning the quadcopter back on. Quadcopter should be on. Turning the FPV screen back on. For the remainder of this, let's go into high rate and see about its maneuverability. Whoa, it's extremely maneuverable. Hold on, it has a lot of pitch. Let's get it. I didn't realize it was that much pitch. Hold on. Extreme pitch, folks. Wow. It's almost, it is horizon mode. Can I flip it? You just might be able to do, if you get enough speed, you might be able to do somersaults with this thing. It has extreme pitch. Wow. There is no pitch angle correction. Oh, shoot. I got to do another review on this, folks. I'm going to have to do another flight on this tomorrow with another battery. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out. Good morning, Quadcopter 101. In my previous flight of the X163F, I had demonstrated its FPV capability. Now I want to demonstrate its maneuverability, its flight capability. So that's what we're at here at Satellite Lake. I am going to put it through its paces and see how it flies. So I hope you enjoy this flight. Let's put the quadcopter down. I'm going to point it toward Owens Peak there to set it as its headless mode bearing. Turning on the transmitter, or turning on the quadcopter. Turning on the transmitter. Binding it to the quadcopter. 2 up and down. We're ready to go. And also turning on the screen. 3, 4, 5. There comes the screen. I got a memory card in there, right? Okay, and we are going to select record. Oh wait, I got to switch to video. You have to switch to video first before you record, folks. And recording, so you can see what I'm seeing while I'm flying. And let's go for a flight. First off, I wanted to show you that this is a stable flyer. Turn off the volume. Okay, this is beginner's rate. It's somewhat maneuverable in beginner's rate. And this would be the best rate to fly in if you're a beginner flyer in FPV. You know, don't go to the high rates because you are easily going to fly out of range of this and crash into something. So I recommend flying at this rate if you're flying FPV. Okay, let's demonstrate the headless mode again. I was pointed in that direction, so I'm flying sideways if you noticed in the video here. Pulling back on the stick and it's flying sideways. So the direction that the quadcopter is pointed has no effect on which way it goes. It remembers the direction it was pointed when it took off. And I can actually do pirouettes. I'm applying some yaw right now on the quadcopter while I'm doing this. Going forward with pirouettes on it. To the right, back, and left, doing pirouettes. Okay, let's try that 1 key return. Let's go back toward Owens Peak there and pressing the 1 key return button. And it flies back toward us in our general direction. Okay, going back to Owens Peak again. Pressing 1 key return. And it flies back in our general direction. So, now 1 key return only will work if you were flying down the direction that the quadcopter was pointed when you took off. If you're off to the right, say you're off to the right of that direction, and you press 1 key return, it's going to come down parallel to that direction, but to your right. Now, if you're behind yourself here, and you press 1 key return, it's going to continue flying away from you. So, remember, if you want to use 1 key return, let's come out of headless mode. For 1 key return to work properly, you must be flying down the direction that you had the quadcopter pointed when it took off. Okay, let's go. Let's do a flip. We haven't done flips with this yet. Let's bring it in closer and do a flip. You press the flip button and it just immediately manually does a flip. You don't have to tell it which direction to go for the flip. It just does it. Let's go to intermediate rate now. 2 beeps. Whoa. Heck of a pitch in intermediate rate. So you got a lot of speed on this thing. How about the maneuverability? Very maneuverable. Does funnels very nicely. So it is a maneuverable quadcopter. Okay, how about high expert rate? Extreme pitch. It is not, you know, I had guessed that it might be horizon mode, but it's not. It's just has extreme pitch. And it can stop on a dime too. But that pitch must be like 70 degrees, 80 degrees. See if I can show that to you by going by close. Well, extreme pitch. Makes for better funnels. But, you know, to use this, let's see if we can get some speed on this thing. I don't know, whoa. I don't know what the max speed on this is, but it's probably very fast with that type of pitch. You can only go so fast or else you go into the ground, so I'm coming out of that. We're going to fly intermediate. Intermediate pitch angle seems to be about 30 degrees or so, 30 to 40 degrees. It's not extreme like the expert rate. But if you're flying with that expert rate pitch, you're going to smack into the ground. There's just no way. This aircraft is going to maintain altitude with an 80-degree bank angle or pitch angle on it. So, in effect, very maneuverable quadcopter, the X163F, and it has FPV, 5.8 gigahertz. I wonder if this video is recording. Yeah, it says it's still recording. And whoa, and that's the battery life. Ain't no more. Okay, let me make sure I got that recording. Press the record button. And that video should record it. Now again, it records directly to the SD card on the screen here. And if you want to record in HD, you have to set this screen to HD. It defaults in 640 by 480, but you can set it to HD. And it appears that the quadcopter is in one piece. How's my props? Props a little dirty, but they're fine. So it withstood the impact. It appears to have impacted right there into the soft dirt. So, all in all, it is a good quadcopter. It has FPV, extremely maneuverable quadcopter in intermediate and expert rate. Headless mode and one key return works as advertised, and it does flips. So I hope you enjoyed this review. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.